Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Modded Minecraft. And I am starting things off today on top of a tree and thousands of blocks away from my base. And that's because I saw a wandering trader was selling this map for an overworld city. And I'd never seen one of these things before, so I had to come check it out. I didn't realise how far away it was, but I did it anyway. And this is what it is. This is an end city, but built in the overworld with overworld materials. And this is something from the repurposed structures mod. And it is so cool, and it is populated with villagers as well, so if we have a walk around here, they probably don't have too much of a good time getting around this thing. But in the top of some of these things, actually some of the stairs actually are definitely better than they are in the end cities, so they can probably get around pretty easily. But there are a couple of chests in here, so I thought I'd check these out, see if there's anything decent. Not really, but I'll always take the gems. Yeah, so these things are pretty cool. So I'm just going to explore this for a little bit, and then we'll get back home, because I have a plan for doing something completely different today. Okay, so I've got myself back home, but I have set up a waystone in the overworld city, and it's 7,000 blocks away, so we may be able to use that to do a bit of villager trading, but for now, no plans for that. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. The last couple of episodes have been a bit AE2 heavy. We've done a lot of automation up here. We've got the AE2 system, the auto crafting, and the auto production of the Certus and the Flux going. So I was going to continue that today, and maybe get the inscribers going, but instead of doing that, I've basically just been manually stocking up on the processors. So we have a couple of hundred of each of these. So I'm not planning on doing much more crafting for this. So I don't think this is something I want to do. And I don't really want to be looking at these walls for the next episode as well. So I'm planning to do something a bit different. And my first idea was to use this thing, the Material Stonework Factory. This is just one of the more advanced things from Industrial Foregoing. And with this, you can use it to produce pretty much every resource. So you can set it to produce a resource and then do number of operations on it, so you can get it to craft or smelt or mine it, and then all these things on the right is all the things that it can produce. So it is a very powerful block, but it's a bit boring just having this thing stuck in a corner with a barrel or a storage drawer on top of it, constantly pumping these things out. So that's why I've decided to take the plunge finally, and I've set up a lot of patterns down here for create. So yeah, I'm actually going to do some stuff with create. I'm always putting it off. I always add it to packs and never use it. So today's the day. We're going to do some stuff for create. And this is how we're going to generate our resources. So I want to keep some stuff auto stocked. And we have a look in here. Like my sand, gravel, it's not great. And the glass is the main one that I want to get. So I don't have any glass at all. So yeah, stuff like that. I want to do it with create. Because this factory, there's a lot of space. And just putting up like a one block solution that'll do everything for you, it's not much fun, is it? So I think definitely the plan should be to get some create stuff up and running, have some big crazy wheels and windmills and belts and cogs all over the place, producing stuff for us. That is definitely going to be a lot of fun. So let's grab a few things and then we can go set them up. So for the first power production for the stress units, I'm going to go with the large water wheels. And I don't know how many of these I can fit in the spot that I'm thinking of, but let's go for 10. Should be easily able to craft that. And why are you using whatever? Just go with it. So I'll have 10 of those. I also want to get a few shafts as well. I do have a few there, but let's just grab a few of these. And this is so easy. Once you've got tons of resources, some of the early game stuff of create is a bit of a pain, just getting the resources together to craft everything, but we have tons of stuff, so this shouldn't be a problem at all. We'll get a couple of gearboxes as well, because I want to have the rotational power coming into the factory, so I have no idea how I'm going to use andesite casing. Right, so that is something I need to do manually for now. We will get this automated eventually, but if we just grab some oak, and do I have an axe? I probably don't have an axe, do I? Tell you what, let's craft a brand new one. I'll just put a load of these things down. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any kind of vein miner in this pack, because I wanted to use the tools properly. So we'll just put all of these down, and then what we need to do is strip all of these. And if we just get some andesite alloy, we'll get a stack of those. And you see, those did go quite fast, and that's because I've added all of these acceleration cards into the molecular assemblers over here. So these are all running as fast as they can now, and it's 5 in each one. So, bit of an investment in diamonds, but I can live with that, because, you know, we've got 20,000 diamonds now. That's alright. So, now we have our stripped logs. Just right click on here, and this will turn it into the andesite casing. And then we can just mine all this up. Right, so back to that, we can do our gearboxes now. So let's get 4 of those. And then I want to make this look a bit fancy, so let's get some trapdoors. So we have some spruce ones there, that's exactly what I wanted. Do I have any more spruce? Do I have any more spruce? I've got 10,000. So let's just grab a ton of these. Right, so to also monitor this as well, I've a couple of things I want to craft that I haven't got patterns for. So I need the, what's it called, the stressometer, isn't it? One of these. I'm going to craft 2 of these. So I can turn one of them into a speedometer. Oh no, so, right, so we'll craft the speedometer first, and then that turns into the stressometer. Alright, so one of those, and we'll take another one, put that in there, and that gives us that. Right, let's have a sleep, and we'll give this a go. Right, so my idea for this is to have these water wheels down here somewhere. So I'm thinking at this spot, and then I'm not sure where my A2 cable goes. It's not that one. So what I could do, have the shafts going in here and then up there. Probably have the water wheels along here somewhere. And I'm going to build all of this up because this isn't really practical at the minute. I'm going to dig this bit down. Not that quickly, thank you. I don't want to do that. And then we can have the water flowing down this way a bit. And then it's going to go under here and then out of the other side into a river. And then we can have this river going all the way down here and maybe snaking its way towards this big river over here. So yeah, this bit at the back will need building up just to make it look pretty. But for now, let's just get the basics of this working. And then hopefully it should look pretty good. So I don't know what kind of height I'm going to do this. Just get through here a bit. Right, so up to there like that. So if we just put some of these shafts up here, just so we can see where we're going. So I'll turn one of these into a vertical gearbox. Put that there like that. And then if we just add some crazy water wheels onto this, this should look pretty good. Oh, is that too low? Is that going to look too low? Let's just put one on, see what it looks like. I may need to raise this up a little bit. I'll go like that. I think that'll be alright if we have a few of these. So let's just put all of these on here if we can. Or as far as we can anyway. Oh, that's not in line with that, is it? So no, that's alright. And we'll have another one there. And then what I want to do is have the water coming across the top and then flowing down here, and it's going to go that way. So I'm going to need to block all this off behind as well. So I don't want it to flow back down this way. And then we'll pretty this up as well, make these walls extend down a little bit. And then we can have everything coming through here. I'm going to try and make this look natural. So this mountain that we've got here, have it slope down a little bit. And then we can have like a trickle of water coming off there that expands as it comes further down. But anyway, let's just get this working. Now I think that should do it. I may have to go one further, but let's just give this a try. Like that. A bit more there as well. Take the water. And if we put that on there, that is working. Right. Okay, so I'm going to block this off and get water sources going all the way along. Okay. So those are all there. So now if I dig these out. That should be pretty good. So it looks alright that. If I build up the sides a bit so it doesn't look too crazy. And then we can make this look a bit more natural. Have the water come back in and then down under here. And we'll maybe even be able to get some more of these in. Have some going in different places. But the water wheels aren't going to be the main thing eventually. But they are definitely pretty good for now. So let's see how much power we're actually getting from this. Right, so I'll just put this stressometer in here. And am I going to need the goggles first if I can see this? Am I? Right, let's grab some goggles. So for these, I just need the gold plates. And we can do that in a multi-servo press, but I want to do the create way, obviously. Yeah, so we just need the mechanical press, which I do already have a pattern for. This thing here. So I'll grab that, and we'll also get the depot as well. This isn't necessary, but it just looks prettier. So I'll grab both of those. Now, I have no idea where I'm going to do all my create stuff. So we'll just do a little temporary setup for this for now. And is it behind this one? It is. Right, so if we steal that, and then we'll put... This isn't great, is it? This is... I should probably go up to the next floor. Let's do that. Because I don't think I have anything in here in a minute. No, I don't. That's good. Right, so where are they? Down there. So next one along. In here. Should be fairly close. So it's just that one there. Let's do that. And then we'll have another vertical gearbox there. Should we do it? Yeah, do it up a bit. Put some shafts out here like that. So let's just get... I'm going to need to gear this up a bit. So let's just get a few of these. They're going to get used at some point, aren't they? Let's have those, and we'll have 10 of those as well. Okay, so let's go one back, and then we'll have a large cogwheel on there, and then a small one like that. So you can see now that is going faster. Now I don't think that is going to be fast enough to do what I want to do with this. So just go like that. It might work. It's going to be really slow, but we're just getting going for now. So let's do that. Now, if I get some gold and put that on there, that is very slowly going to come down and turn that into a gold sheet. So I grab that. I should now be able to craft goggles, just like that. Now, I don't know if I can put these. Yeah, I can put those in here so I can still wear my helmet. So now when I look at things, it tells me information about how much stress units I'm using. So this is only using 64 because it's at a really slow speed. So we will gear this up again. Okay, so now that is telling me I'm generating 4,608 stress units, which is quite a lot for the starter power. So we will be upgrading this eventually and doing some other crazy stuff. But I think for the first few bits that I want to do, this is going to be more than enough. So I think first thing I want to do now is actually tidy this up a bit. Maybe do a little bit of the terraforming, get this going, and then we can get on with doing some more advanced stuff from Create. And before we get on with that, I just wanted to mention something else I did between episodes, and that was to sort out the backlog we were getting in here. So this is where we're getting all of our resources from now, and I've replaced the diamond chest we had on here with the white ender chest, and this is the one that goes into the storage drawers. So if anything is mined that can go straight into the storage drawers, and I believe it's only glowstone that can do that, that'll go straight into there. And then I still have the same whitelist. I'll take out the diamond, redstone, coal, emerald and quartz, anything that can be fortuned basically I'm putting down here, and that is getting fortuned by the annihilation plane. And then everything else that's still in that ender chest will get pulled out into here. So anything that can be smelted is filtered on this side to go into these two ultimate smelting factories, and then these get sent back into AE2. Now I believe there's some things that I haven't got set up in the drawers, so some of the stuff that's coming out here is probably going to be clogging up my AE2 system, so I need to get that sorted at some point. But anything that can't be smelted goes into here. So all this stuff needs pulverizing rather than going through a smelter. So I'm going to get this set up down here as well, and then we can have that fed back and stored into the system. So anyway, for now, I've got some terraforming to do. Okay, so I've spent a little bit of time doing that, and it's not the most attractive thing just yet. It does need a little bit of work. Need some slabs and texture variation, maybe some grass on the top and some leaves here and there. But I think as the first pass, that's not bad at all. And we've got the water flowing down and then coming over here. I am thinking that maybe I should see these a bit more, so maybe have the water go behind them, but you know what, I think for now I think that's all right. And then we have the water going down below this bridge, still got a few blocks missing down here, and then we've got a little bit of a stream coming down this way, and then this will come down here, maybe a bit of a waterfall here, and then have that going towards that main river over there. But I think that's good enough for now. That's looking fairly tidy. I will work on this fairly soon and get this looking a lot better. But then if we just come back in here, I have been tweaking a few things in here just so we can see what's going on. Firstly, I've moved my stressometer up here. It's not connected at the minute, but that just saves me going downstairs. So I do have this mess of cogs up here, and all I'm doing here is just speeding up the rotation so we have more going into this. So all we do, like we did earlier, we just have the main shaft going into this big cog, and then that goes into a small cog, and then that doubles the speed. We then have a big cog connected to that one going at the same speed, and then that'll double it into the next small one. Now we have to have these andesite casings on the big ones, because if we look here, this one is going slowly, it's been sped up there, and then this one will speed that one up again. So these two here are going at different speeds. So if we didn't have that andesite case in there, those would try and connect, and this one would pop off because it's going at a different speed. So that's why with the big ones we have those there, so the small ones don't connect to it. And then we just double it each time. So the large water wheels rotate at 4 RPM. We doubled it 4 times, so that takes us up to 64 RPM. And that's what it says on that speedometer here. And with that, I've done a few of the sheets. So let's just, should we do some more so we can see how that looks? Let's do some copper this time. So we'll just put those on the depot, and we'll see that is much faster than it was before, isn't it? So with this final bit over here, I've got that going into another gearbox, and then just 2 encased chain drives to connect this up, and then that shaft comes from there straight into here, and then that is going at 64. So the reason I've got this thing down here is because I want to put another cog on this one. Because what I was thinking of doing was having a belt going along here, feeding this, rather than having to put things on here. I could have a chest, we'll have things pulled out of the chest onto a belt, it'll transfer them down here, and then we can put them into another chest or do something else with them. I have my stressometer here, that's showing we're hardly using anything, but this one on its own is using 512. So that's what happens when you speed things up, it uses a lot more of the stress units. So the thing I really want to start working towards is this thing, the rotation speed controller. Now, we do need to get some brass, which if we have a look at the recipe, this is a mix of zinc and copper, and we are going through this in Create as well with the mechanical mixer and the basin, but we also need to get a blaze burner beneath that to cook that into the brass. We can then take the brass, and just like we do with the andesite alloy, we can right click that onto a stripped log and it turns it into the brass casing. The other thing we need is a bit more difficult, and this is called a precision mechanism. So this has to go through 3 deployers, each of them clicking different things onto this, and it's not 100% chance it's going to work. In fact, it does actually fail quite a lot. So you have to do it 5 times, but sometimes it can fail as well. So we need to get some of these deployers set up, and to craft these, we need a brass hand, so we need to get into the brass first and put those into here so we can get the brass sheets. Andesite casing we already know how to do, but then we also need to do an electron tube, which is polished rose quartz and the iron sheet. So I've got the iron sheets, the polished rose quartz, we need to craft this stuff called rose quartz, which is just redstone and quartz, no problem. But then we need to craft some sandpaper, which is sand and paper, obviously, and then we just rub that on there and then turn it into the polished one. Now we can, with the sandpaper, because this does have a durability on it, but we can enchant this as well. We can put unbreaking and I believe mending on here as well, so we can restore this with XP. But as it's only sand and paper, it's not expensive, not really a big deal. And then I didn't explain what I actually want this for. So this rotation speed controller, what this does is basically allows me to do away with all this. So this can gear up to massive speeds just by having one of these down, with a shaft going into it and a large cogwheel on top. You have an interface where you can change what speed everything's going at. So that makes things much easier than doing big convoluted setups like this. Even though I have to admit this does look really cool, it's much more convenient to have the speed controller. So let's start crafting up a few things and get this going. So firstly, we need to do the mechanical mixer. So let's do that. I think I have a pattern already for this. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, I need some more iron sheets, which I have already done, so I can put those in there, can't I? And let's grab these as well. Nope, don't do that. So let's get the mixer. Like that. And then we also need a basin, which I have done that as well. And that is just 5 andesite alloy. Then we also need to have, to heat this, we need a blaze burner below it. Now I haven't done a pattern for that. So what we need to do first is craft the empty blaze burner, which is just netherrack and iron plates. That's nice and easy. But then we need to click these either onto a blaze or onto a blaze spawner, and it will fill this up and turn it into the blaze burner. So I do have some cardboard boxes with, oh yeah, does it actually tell me what's in here? No, it just says it's a mob spawner. Right, what is that? I don't know what this is. I'm hoping it's a blaze spawner. I know I have got some somewhere. So let's just do that. What? That's a magma cube, but that is very good to know because I do actually want to use those as well. Those are going to help me get obsidian, believe it or not. So I think I have a chest somewhere that's got all my spawners in. Let's have a look. Yeah, over here. I think it's these. So I don't know which one's which, and unfortunately it doesn't tell you. So let's try this. Oh, that's it. That's blaze, isn't it? Right, so we'll grab that, and we might as well do it up here. Don't think they can cause too much damage if they get out, can they? Right, so we'll just put you down there, and if we just do that, shift right click that, and then we can put that back on there. So now we have a blaze burner. Nice. So I do want to change this around a lot because it's not a great setup, but let's, and I don't have a ceiling down here as well, which is rather annoying. I need to get that sorted. So let's put the blaze burner in the floor, and I do need access to it, so I'll have to take this block out. And then we'll put the basin on top, and then we can put the mixer up there, put those and those in there. And I've done that completely wrong because that needs connecting to a cog. Not right, messed that up. So what, let's take that out there. So we're going to need a small cog here, and then if I got a gearbox on me, nope, back and craft one, lose that. Put that in there so that can pull that this way, and then this is going to be a really horrible setup. This is just a starter setup, I remember. So I will change this. I just want to get this going. So let's get another one of these. Turn that into a vertical gearbox. Put that on there. So we can now, let's do a shaft at the bottom of there and there. And then we'll take a mechanical belt and put that on there. Isn't that pretty? Right, so these belts are really cool. You can transport items with these, but you can also do things like this, and they can go along the floor and on diagonals as well. So that mixer is now running. We just need to put something burnable in there, and the best way to do that is with a lava bucket, really, but I don't know if I've got any. Yeah, I do. Let's take one of those, pull that in there, and that will now start doing its thing. So we can pull these out of here automatically as well, but we're just going to wait for that to do this thing. And actually, might as well stick that back up there, since it can't connect to anything there. If there's any creator experts watching this, I'm sorry. I will improve on this. Right, so can I take that No, it's taking the zinc out. I wanted the brass. So let's put that back in there. And I'll put the brass sheets on here. Although I do want some of the brass as well, don't I? So let's put half of that on there. Okay, so we've just grabbed some spruce logs. Put those down there like that. And with my axe, I can strip these. And then I can turn these into the brass casing. Nice. I really need to get a wrench as well, don't I? Let's get the create wrench, because it is one of the coolest looking wrenches there is. Yeah, so it's gold plate, small cog, and a stick. No problem. Right, so I've got the brass casing. I've got the brass sheets. So now, can I do the deploy? No, I can't. Did you really just spawn there? So let's craft the brass hand. And I need 3 of these. So let's just stick all this in here. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I need to do some of the rose quartz as well. So catalyst one is this one. I'll grab 3 of those. And I also need some sandpaper. So I think I just need one of these. I think you put one of these in your offhand, don't you? Yeah, like that. There we go. So that turns it into the polished rose quartz. And I should be somewhere near being able to do this now. Oh no, I need to craft these first. Sorry. 3 of those. And now I should be able to do the deployers. Just put those there like that. And we now have 3 deployers. Nice. Right. So with the deployers, this should be an interesting setup, shouldn't it? Let's have this coming out here. And I can just put these. Not like that. Although I do have the wrench now, so I can... Let's just do that, because that's just easier, isn't it? And 3. Right, so we have 3 going like that. Now, may need those a little bit higher up. And that, like that. So, what we need to do here is have a belt coming across here. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get that to do that. I want to gear it down as well, because I don't want the belt going really fast. So, if I grab my cogs again. If I replace this shaft with a small cog, and then put a large one like that, that's going to slow that down a little bit. And I've put a small one there, and then a big one here. That should slow that down, but now I need to turn it, so we're going to do that with a gearbox again. This is a real convoluted setup for something that should be really simple. No, let's not do that. Let's put this one here. Have a gearbox like that. And then the problem I've got here is I want this to be turning the other way. So the way I like to do that is if it's going the wrong way, but you're about in the right spot, I just like to put 2 gearboxes next to each other and it'll turn it around. So if I do that, that is now turning the other way, which is perfect. And that is lined up exactly where I want it. So if I put a shaft there, and then we'll have another one here. Put a belt going along there, and because that is turning that way, that will go along there. We need to put small cogwheels, large cogwheels, and iron nuggets onto here. Now we can have them piped in from the top, but these can hold a stack at a time. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to craft up a stack of these. So let's get the cogs, and then we'll do the same for these as well. So we can just put those onto there like that. So that will now start... No, don't do that. I don't want you to do that. Let's put some gold sheets on there. So firstly, we're going to use an andesite funnel. And these things are really cheap. And this is basically the way you interact with inventories. So you can take things out and put things in with these. This is the basic version. The brass one is better, but we don't need that for this just yet. We may do in a minute once we get it going. But firstly, can I get a chest in there? I can put it behind that, sorry. On there like that. And then I can have an andesite funnel on there. Not like that. And then we'll put the gold into there. Is it too far away? Have I done that wrong? Should I have just done it on this one? If so, that's annoying. Right, those are all going to pop off the end. So let's tell you what, let's try this one down. So if we take our deploys again. Put that like that. Yeah, that's more like it, isn't it? Now, if I put these on here, that'll do that. So that has turned it into the incomplete precision mechanism, which is exactly what I want. I'm going to take these out here because this is all just wrong. Right, you do that. Okay, so if I put the rest of these up here, we are getting there now. It doesn't look like it, but we are. So let's do that. Grab all of those. And then we take our small cogwheels, put those on there. Large cogwheels on there, and I crafted some more, didn't I? So let's get those. And then we also want some iron nuggets as well. Now this is the most basic version of this setup. So we could have these being sent back along one of these and back into there and then sent round again. So we can do that. We can just put those back in here, and I am going to do this manually when they get to the end. But I'll have another chest, so these just don't just pop off. But I can put the gold in there as well. So those are doing their thing. And if we look at this, it does have a like a progress bar on the bottom, and it says progress 3 of 15, and that one's the same. So if we put that chest there, and we can put that andesite funnel there, and all those will go into there now rather than popping off the end. And then I'll grab all of these, and then we can just put them at the other end and send them back through. And it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's not that complicated either. Right, we'll take the gold sheets out because I think we've got more than enough of these now, haven't we? So we'll leave this to make some progress. I'll keep doing this, and then I'll show you once we get the final result. Okay, so there it is. We now have our first precision mechanism. So we have 3 there, which is very nice. And as you can see, some things are breaking here and there. But I've just put some more cogwheels onto here because it did get through all those 64 of those items. So I've just done that again. And as you can see, that's down to 20. So yeah, definitely need to put some more on. But I think now I've got a few of these, we can get on with crafting our speed controller, can't we? So it's just one of those and the brass casing, which we've already done. So we might as well get a few because we'll definitely use them. But these things are really cool. So we just need a large cogwheel as well. Actually, let's just put those back in there. So what we'll do with this, if we, where should we put it? Let's put that there. So that is connected to that. Now what we can do, if we put, actually let's move it away a little bit. We'll put a shaft there. We'll put that down. And if we put a large cogwheel on top, so if we take our 2 speedometers, and we'll put, I can do it on both sides, can't we? So 16, and that one is going in 16. What we can do here, that says 16, but we can crank this right up to really crazy speed. So that's going at 120. So we can crank this up even further if we want to. So let's just go like that, 190. How's that doing? Right, so I don't actually think it's causing a problem at all yet. Can I go like right up to 256? Yeah. I suppose because I'm not actually using this speed or anything. If I put this onto a machine, it would definitely affect the stress units. Yeah, that's what's going on. So, as you can see here, this bottom one is still rotating at 16, so I can take another shaft off there and just use it slow. But if I want something to go really fast, I can just use this thing rather than doing those big crazy cogs. So I am going to replace all this and just put one of these in for my main setup, and then I can have a couple more of them doing like more custom things wherever around the base. So let's turn that down because that's mad. But with this as well, we can also turn it the other way. So if we're not happy with which way it's going, we need it specifically to go the other way, we can just put it like that and it'll start turning the other way, which is really helpful. Okay, so a short amount of time later, and I've moved a few things around. So I've got rid of that big mess of cogs that we had back here, and I replaced it with the rotation speed controller, and I've got that set at 128. So it's still not the prettiest setup in the world, but it's much better than it was. And I'm actually toying with the idea of not having the create stuff in this narrow corridor because I think it is a bit cramped. So between episodes, I may come up with doing something a little bit different, but if we just have a look at what I've got. So we've got this going at 128. We then have via a few shafts and gearboxes that going into this mechanical mixer, and I've been using this to get some brass, and I've got another stack ready in there, nice. And then we've got our mechanical press here, so let's put a few on there. So from there, the rotational power is taken over here, and this shaft is just connected to these belts down here via this belt. And you'll also notice I've added in another one and a couple more funnels at the back. So we have the andesite ones and brass ones, and the reason for the brass ones is this can output more at the same time, but we're not using it for that. What we're actually using it for is we can put a filter on this. So with this one, this filter has a blacklist on it to not allow the precision mechanisms to come out. So obviously once these are in here, that means they're done, and we can take these out. And as you can see, we have over 2 stacks in there, so that is great. But if we actually, I've got some gold plates on me, so we might as well put these in. You can see how crazy fast this goes now. So up here, I've also put some chutes and some barrels up here, and I've got a few of the components that are used to make these precision mechanisms. So these just all get stamped on here and go into this chest. And then over here, I've also got another filter, so it'll only allow the precision mechanisms out. And is that full already? That's crazy. So anything that gets broken will just stay in here. I don't think there will be anything, because yeah, that's filled up completely. I didn't really think about that. Maybe we should have another chest or a bigger chest in there. In fact, yeah, I'm going to do that. Put you on there and turn that into a gold one. And then same thing over here as well. Much better. Right, so those will keep going around there, but the problem is these are probably going to run out again because it just gets through these things so quickly. Yeah, so the small cogs have already run out. So we'll just craft a few more of those and stick those in there. And those will carry on doing the thing once we get the other ones. So those are going, and hopefully we should get a couple more coming in here eventually. So yeah, now we've got these precision mechanisms. This is definitely going to help with getting into the more advanced stuff in Create. I did intend on getting some of the automation done today, but I think getting these done is definitely a step in the right direction. So with these, we can do some pretty cool things like the extendo grip, the potato cannon, which I'm definitely going to do because that's a lot of fun. And then we can also do the train controls, and I definitely want to get into the trains as well. The mechanical arm, this is a great thing for doing all kinds of automation. And then the thing we've already done is the rotation speed controller. So this is a very essential thing, and this process can be a bit of a pain doing it manually. So having this set up, very happy about that. And have I really not got any more? Right, I'm going to have to get some more andesite and get this sorted and get a few more of these things crafted up. But I think that's some good progress for today. We've got the basics of Create going, our first rotational power, and we've even got the precision mechanism done already. So very happy about that. But between episodes, I'm probably going to have a move around of this stuff again. And then next time we can get into doing some proper automation with Create, getting all the gravel and sand and all the basic stuff that we're going to need an absolute ton of. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.